Welcome back, KhyberPlays Kerbal Space Program, Episode 3. Now that we've gotten our spaceship more or less set up, let's try it again. Haha, see right. Blew the last one up. Give the game time to render everything. Alright, now I'm in. Throttle up, make sure my throttle's ready to go. And once I hit the stage button, which is spacebar, everything should go pretty smoothly. Yeah. This is why I call it the wobbly space sausage. It just looks wrong. The reaction of our pilots here. Bill, he's been in a space pod. Somehow he teleported back to Earth, so space travel is just boring for him. Jeb is always batshit crazy. And Bob is always wetting himself. Always. When we bring up our resources, we can see how we're chewing through fuel at a rapid pace. I'm going to leave that up because that's important. One of the other things to note is that, see, I've got a fuel tank up here and several in chain down here that are in direct contact with the motor. So all of these will actually, once this runs out, it'll go hopefully to this one. I've already used one and I'm about to use up the second. And I'm not even anywhere near where I need to be. Speed is climbing though, for now. So it'll just keep using them all the way on down. But this one hasn't been touched yet, and the reason for that is because there's no direct link straight on down. You have to add a fuel line, but I didn't want to use fuel from that one because I was hoping to save that for when I was out in space. See, I'm at full throttle 100%, and it's just beginning to slowly overheat the engine. I'm good all the way up until it fills. There's no, that I found, randomly occurring chance that it might fail before then. I think it has to fill up and then it'll fail. Regular like clockwork. So that's good. That gives me a little bit of advance warning and notice that I am in danger of maybe tomorrow overheating the engine, but I don't have enough fuel to get that to happen. And to be honest, I doubt I'm going to make it to space. Yep, ran out of fuel and wobbled in half. So that's awesome. Let's see if we can get something going on here. Go ahead and dump that because it's not doing us any good. Alright. Completely pointless. Nothing to see here, folks. Screwing around. So this isn't going well. So I might as well make it interesting. You can control the attitude of the ship with the WASD keys. Functions much like any other flight simulator. Unfortunately, the camera control isn't very intuitive, so I usually use the fly-by-ball, fly-by-wire, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and derp into the ground. And I'll go ahead and use the fuel since it's not going to be used for anything else. Oh crap. Yeah, the engine's in the same stage as the parachutes, so they went ahead and deployed. And whenever that happens, everything else just kind of goes out the window. So we can eye our speed here. It's actually slowing down as we get more atmospheric air underneath us. There's more pressure, more air to fill up the parachutes. You hear the wind noise is already starting to dip down. Once I get to a certain altitude, they'll flap open, and the resulting shock will cause everything under this tiny, tiny, tiny thing here to just snap off. It's only a 7-kilometer swim, guys. No problem. Smack. certain sinking sensation. Alright, they're fine. So you can see how the evolution of ships is necessary. You can use this to learn from your mistakes. It did kind of climb pretty quickly while it was climbing and had fuel, but I did change the design to pack more fuel, and that seemed to be a bad idea. So I gave you a sneak peek on this one. I know you guys are dying to see if my guys are dying. To see if they're going to be dying. So let's take this one out. Alright. So you can see there's a lot more going on with this one. 7 total stages. This one's going to take a lot more care and control. It's a lot heavier. There are breakaway points and they have to be managed carefully. And you can see that there is a failure in the design. This thing is so heavy, well, you'll see. See, my flaps are starting to flap. That's SAS. They have many different names for it. Basically, it's your autopilot. It'll hold to the point that you click the button at, to whatever point on that ball. Gravity ball, compass ball, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead. Yeah, it's heavy. And there's the design flaw. It's so heavy that heat builds up so much of these smaller rocket boosters that they will basically just explode. Watch my speed drop because, and they will. But the speed just drops off considerably. The ship's less floppy though. I feel like getting good at pushing. Alright, break those away. Smoosh! Kick those off. Then, boom. Yeah, not anymore. Alright, getting ready to kick those off. Bye. There you go. Space sausage number 5, I guess. I don't know, I don't think they all wobbled this bad, but that's the problem with making a giant tube of a rocket ship. And there's another problem too, like once again, you still have a whole lot of weight on that engine. And for whatever reason, it just causes it to cook, so I can't even use that much thrust on it. Pretty good ways up. I mean, we're only picking up speed. So we'll be ready to start our turn here fairly soon. I usually, when you have an oddball, weird spaceship like this one, I find it's best to try to go straight up as far as possible, and when it looks like it's not wobbling so much anymore, that your flaps aren't really trying that hard to stabilize it, that's about a good time to start turning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn RCS thrusters on, try to help stabilize it a bit. In the end, it turns into a balancing act. Alright, picking up some good speed. I'm going to disable the SAS, the autopilot, and start listing towards the 90 degrees. Very good reason for that. 90 degrees I pick because everybody else says so. But also because I'm going to hit this map for just a second. Every other planet is, ironically enough, along that plane, along that axis, that, you know, they don't wobble very much. This one here, you can see the gray line for planet Dres. It's not off by very much, but it is tilted. But the rest of them seem to be on a pretty flat axis. Or plane. Moho is also a little bit tilted. But for your first few planets, it's a lot easier to get to the first few because they are pretty much flat along the 90 degree line. Here's the moon. And Minmus. Oh, I guess they did tilt the moon a little bit, just to give you that little bit degree of difficulty. Up. Check what's going on here. Okay, there's my apoapsis. You can see it's. Oh, yeah, we're all in the fuel there. Helps to check in on these things. Alright, starting to lean. But yeah, you can see those planets are more or less in line. Alright, so now we're in outer space. Well, outer space. base. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here in a second. We'll move on to the next episode.